Hi there, it's Nicole McGork for the Simon Says Stamp 2013 Holiday Card Kit Video Hop. And today I have a card for you showcasing the card kit plus some exclusive Simon Says Stamp craft dies. The first thing I did was take one of the pattern papers from the card kit and trim it down to fit the front of a standard size card. The cardstock is also included in the kit. I just cut it in half and folded it to create my card base. Then I'm going to take the large circle from the Simon Says Stamp Hexagon Pattern Circle craft die set. It actually comes with a circle that has die cut hexagons in it and then a plain circle, and I'm just going to use the large circle for this to create a window for my card. So I temporarily adhered that wood grain paper using a sticky note and then die cut that whole thing out. I'm also going to die cut a bunch of the Simon Says Stamp leaf column background craft die from the green paper from the card kit. I ended up cutting, I believe, like 12 of these, and I also am going to use some of the red cardstock from the kit to die cut the bow using the Simon Says Stamp Perfect Bow craft die. So quite a few dies here in play as well as pieces from the kit. I'm going to take my Zig glue pen and I'm just going to trace a little bit around the the window opening that I cut from this wood grain background. And then I've already kind of bent my leaf column so that it would play a little bit nicer as I try to work it around the circle to give it the circle shape. So I'm just going to continue to do this, and I'm going to layer them as I go. And I'm going to do this quite a few times because I want a really full wreath. I'm creating a wreath with this leaf background or leaf column, and it's really easy to do. Just kind of have to work with it a little bit. And as soon as the glue is all dry, I'm going to be able to pop up some of those leaves so that it has even more dimension. And as I'm working, you can see it looks better and better the more layers that you add there. And I'm trying to kind of offset each layer that I add so that it fills in any of those open holes. I'm going to quickly make my bow hold that glue in place for a little bit so that it stays by the time I'm ready for it. So there is my wreath all put together. I'm just going to use a little glossy accents to glue that part of my bow down. Add another little drop to put the center of my paper bow there. I love this bow. It's so elegant looking and perfect for a wreath. And you can see I'm going to pop up some of those little leaves to make a very full wreath. Now I'm just holding my bow there in place while I'm popping those up. I probably didn't need to hold it that long. I think I kind of forgot what I was doing as I was popping up all those little leaves. So the more you do that, the more dimension it gives it. Next, I've also die cut a bunch of stars using the Simon Says Stamp Holiday Shapes die, and there's actually hearts and stars on this craft die, and I'm using all 4 sizes of the stars, and I use some of that wood grain paper or the actual wood paper in the card kit to die cut my little stars and fill in my wreath. Now I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back of that wood grain piece that I die cut earlier and place that right in that opening on the front of my card. And I'm going to take several of the greetings from the stamp set included in the card kit. You can see what it'll look like there. I like that it looks like it's hanging on a door when it's closed, and then when you open it, the greeting it's both on the outside or front of the card and on the inside of the card. So I'm just going to grab several of the greetings there from the stamp set and lay those out how I want them to read on the card. And then I'm going to use some Versamark ink and embossing powder to stamp my greeting. And I'm going to start with the largest word first. I want to make sure it fits. That's why I kept checking there. So I made sure I stamped it exactly where I needed to. And I'm going to stamp the word blessed with some Versamark ink. I'll stamp that right in the center of my circle. And then I'm going to use some red embossing powder. This is Zing embossing powder, the Rouge embossing powder. Over the top of that, tap off any excess, and then I'll heat that up before I add the rest of my stamped greetings. So once that's cooled, because I don't want any of the next color of embossing powder to stick to that, I will go ahead and stamp the rest of my greeting or my sentiment to make it a nice phrase. So I stamped part of it above the word blessed, and then I will stamp the rest of it below the word blessed. And then I'm going to use some white embossing powder on those stamped phrases. Tap off all that excess and heat that up. Lastly, I added some red gemstones for some little holly berries in my wreath, and my card is finished. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video showcasing the 2013 holiday card kit from Simon Says Stamp. You can click anywhere on the center of the screen to be taken to the next stop on this video hop. Thanks for watching and happy holidays!